Now we're going to see a cold 4-bet from Alex with the ace-king suited. And we've seen him 4-bet before.
Oh, he wants some call nuts. Off the absolute stone cold nuts.
Now,
how many times have we seen this, by the way?
He's going to go again. He's put the whole lot in. How much is there?
What's up, poker fans? Welcome back to another Black Cash Poker video, where we bring you the best highlights and moments of the most entertaining poker events. Before getting into it, we would like to ask you guys to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our videos, as your support is allowing us to continue posting videos consistently.
In terms of the players that we've got, so it's a 10k min buy-in. Chips are green 25, blue is 100, yellow 500. Purple is what you want to see. They're worth 1k. You can see the different varying chip stacks. And Nui, who we're becoming very familiar with, he's just coming onto all the feature tables. He's got 50 big bags. There's 46k here now for Yong, who's a player that we were highlighting earlier on. Kuslev, Queen 6, gets out of the way, 9-7. But the range, and this is open to both of you, so I'm going to go to Finton first of all. The range of opening hands in cash becomes very, very different to tournament poker.
Well, I'm going to make a prediction, right? I'm going to say...
And your predictions have been spot on.
Okay, just say, right, okay, we would do a 4 to 6 hour stream on a tournament, okay? The percentage of flops we see would be less than 50. Okay? Depending on what stage of the tournament it's at. Probably earlier stages, the percentage is higher.
Nothing but flops tonight.
I know, there's going to be a few hands.
But it's only going to be one or two.
One or two, maybe. Yeah,
there's going to be a few cold 4-bets with
some.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any walks though.
No.
And there's not going to be many button raises that get through either.
And so, then for you, Dara, the range, how it changes and how it switches, as we see.
We've seen this a lot so far.
He 3-bet in small blind with Jack 6, which is, I mean, the hand choice is just, you might think is crazy. So the blind level here is 25, 50, 100. You see it described there on the bottom of your screen. Exactly the blind level. Now, cash games, as advertised here, this particular game, they do tend to kind of develop and progress. In a cash game, you can dip in as often as you want to your pocket and top up.
And that tends to mean there's more chips on the table towards the end of a game, because if somebody busts and reloads, the chips that they lost when they bust are still on the table. So the stacks can get very, very deep towards the end, and you sometimes see the straddles becoming even more aggressive.
Now this was interesting. Rob checked this flop. Like, Nui flopped the flush, right?
Yeah.
But he checked, waiting for Rob.
Jason Tompkins is in the pot as well. He has the gut shot and the 10 high flush draw.
Yeah,
which is actually good.
Really?
I mean, it's good if he hits.
But if he hits the straight, he's in big trouble.
He's
right?
not to know that, but if he hits the straight, he's in big trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, his equity here is like.
He's drawing to a club, basically.
Yeah.
Accounted for.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Nui.
It looks like Rob pumped it up there. Yeah, Rob pumped it up to 2.4.
And Nui's just smooth called.
He's just smooth called, laying the trap.
That's unlucky. If Nui's going to be happy with Dara.
No, he's basically got just a 7 high flush now, and there's 4 to a flush out there. So any card higher than the 8 of clubs or higher beats him now. So that's why the river went check. Rob also checked because he hit 2 pair on the end. And we see Porrig O'Neill there. Porrig is one of Ireland's top players as well. Both cash and tournaments as well. Very formidable cash player. He's also the only man ever to have won 2 Unibet Opens back to back.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And he almost went triple because he got onto the final table the 3rd time as well.
That's incredible. Back to back tournaments, not like back to back Irish Unibets.
No, it was back to back Unibet Open main event, and then the next Unibet Open festival he won.
Top character, and I'd seen him recently on Twitter with a big check in his hand.
He played a mystery bounty over in Vegas in the win, and he got the maximum, the 100k. So we were telling him that his biggest tournament score came out of an envelope.
Lookbox job.
For 130k.
I seen that, yeah. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Now, can I ask you a question, just while we're talking about mystery bounties? into all the big festivals, these
Yeah.
mystery bounties.
Yeah.
Can you give us just our viewers who are listening in and they've heard of them or
Yeah.
they haven't played them? Could you give them a quick heads up on what exactly is a mystery bounty?
Yeah, it's a very interesting format. It's not like a traditional bounty tournament. In a traditional bounty tournament, every player in the field has a bounty on their head, and it's the same amount. I played one in Prague at EPT Prague, and the minimum was 500, and the maximum was 50,000. He's up against the set already, but Porrick still has to dodge the spades, obviously.
Set here.
Yeah,
So he thinks his trip draw and his 2-pair draw could be really good.
Yeah,
Looking-
can't blame the call at all there. And,
Looking like a double up, but there are 6 outs.
and that
That
was a
is not one of
scary
them.
colour. But
It was, yeah. For a second there, I'd say, oh my god.
Porrick winced for
He
a
visibly
split
wins.
second.
Yeah. Another thing which is different is you just defend your blinds a lot tighter in general, because the stacks are deeper, which makes being out of position worse.
Rob's going to 3-bet here.
Yeah,
Definitely, for sure. After what
He's
we
just
saw earlier
raised-
on, he's definitely got a 3-bet.
Yeah, I think
He's just
Jason,
raising everything. It's about 1,500.
Jason's going.
5x, well, it's 1.3.
Jason's going with his hand here. I'm pretty sure.
Do you think he just goes all in?
No, I think he'll 4-bet and call if
Given his stack is now 8-6, Rob
Yeah,
on 34.
he's,
Well,
essen-
if
he's
Newey-
essentially
there might be
86 big
more
blinds.
motivation here to just let rip with another 1.2 from Newey.
Yeah, in this spot,
I like the way Newey's eyeball and Tompkins to know what
he
is
has
it you're
moved all
gonna
in.
do.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But,
He's decided there's just too much out there, and he doesn't want. I think against some players, Jason would just make a normal 4-bet there, but against Rob, who might actually flat the 4-bet, and then you've got jacks and you're looking at overcards a lot, not sure what to do. He's just decided I'm just going to take the 1,600. Yeah, I mean Paul is a thicky player. Like Paul has a ridiculously large bankroll. He's a very
Yeah.
very wealthy man, but I've never seen him just throw it in because he just wants to gamble. He has thought this one out.
and he's elected to fold. The fair play, Dara. You called
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You called that.
I thought he would. Every time I play with Paul, I'm just impressed by how good he is, how technically solid he is.
The lowest value chip is the 25, which is green in colour. This is Porrick O'Neill. Oh boy.
Ace, queen suited
Keith with
into
the 3-bet.
boys. So it's 300 raise.
And it's interesting
3-bet.
the hand where Porrick had ace queen suited previously,
Yeah.
and he got into a big hand with Keith, who 3-bet him pre with the king 9, I think it was.
So we've seen Jason fold an ace.
Yeah, Porrick's going to be definitely continuing here.
He has
Ace
to.
queen.
Does he
ace suited.
flat call or does he 4-bet?
He could 4-bet. He could 4-bet with this hand, but he decides to
Let's see a
peel
flop. Oh, I want
Guys,
a flop with
Porrick
diamonds. Flop with diamonds, please.
Well,
Wow,
this
he's
is
hit
huge.
ace.
He's going to get paid as well, at least on one
Definitely.
street. Keith might check this back. He does. And we're going to go to a turn. He has a double gutter. A king or a 9 would give him a straight to go along with his top pair. He's pretty comfortable leading out after the check back on the flop. And a 1.3 bet.
Which makes sense,
1,300
by the
bet
way.
is snap called.
Yeah.
He's going to check back, Keith, I think, if Porrick checks.
Or calls a small bet.
Porrick checks here, Keith will check back. Porrick might put in a small blocker type bet, maybe around 2K, 2.5K, just because he wants to get to showdown. He's comfortable. He doesn't want to get raised here, that's for sure. And there's a small blocker kind of bet, 1.6. Well, he's the
not a
perfect
bad
hand to
one.
do it. Wow, what a fold.
Oh, if he fold,
That's-
he showed.
I mean, that's such
Folded
a big...
and
That's,
showed. That's impressive.
that's interesting.
Somebody
Yeah.
Google that for me, please. Irish CEO Eurosport, now CEO of RTE.
Okay.
But her last act was to win the rights to the Olympics, the exclusive rights for the Olympics. And all she did was just, when she left, the BBC were like, oh balls.
Big here. Big flop for Jason, who's flopped the flush draw. In fact, he has
Straight
a
flush
straight
draw.
flush draw.
Straight gut.
And pocket sixes for Alex. He's not going to be too interested, but Rob will be interested.
Yeah, particularly
because
with the
he's connected
queen
with the 10, second
Yeah.
pair, and he's a backdoor to a bigger straight. So we can see Tompkins betting out a massive combination draw here. Straight draw.
And
Flush draw.
look at the amount of outs he has. He's 10 outs.
Rob calling with second pair.
board pairs with a jack on the turn.
So this is obviously not ideal for a drawing hand. It's the last thing you want to see is a pair board. So Jason looks like he's going to continue though.
Does he rep the jack?
Well, what he's saying here to Rob is, look, I've got it. I've got the jack. And he leads out again. Now, Rob's not going to be convinced because that second jack coming up, the probability is a lot less of Jason having a jack in his holding, so Rob's going to call here.
Rob's also seen what happened with the jack high call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hero calling so far on this cash game. The 50, 100, 200 is what you're watching. This is the Irish player Jason Tompkins, who you see in your screen.
One of the best.
Versus
Gets
Rob
there
Young.
with the 9. What a card for him on the river.
He's probably going to get paid. Rob does have a blocker to the bigger straight with that queen in his hand. Jason, well, this is a great situation for him.
Well, I got to ask both of you, what is Jason going to do here? What's his bet?
Well, he has the small straight, so he's not going to be. He could even check here. Am I right, Simon?
I don't think he will. He's looking down. I think he's thinking of value betting this and hoping that
half the pot.
he gets a call.
He's put in 3.
Wow.
He's gone all in.
Okay,
He shoved.
well, it's cool.
But then again, he's got a 52-3 in the tank, and it's only 6-7 to call.
Yeah.
My 10 high did yours. But the fact that Jason showed when he was being called by Jack High, because he actually showed in frustration, I think, just going, well done.
And he says fold.
That's a
good
great fold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
that is
fold.
good fold.
Do you know what helped there? I think the fact he's right beside Jason as well. Do you know?
Yeah.
Which would be considered absolutely huge back in the day. But I remember, like, there was like 4, 5, 6 bets even. It never happens nowadays. Like, 4 or 5 bet is all in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's a good shout.
Now Rob with the 5.
We should see action here.
Yeah, we're going to get action because Keith with the suit of connectors opens all pretty reasonable under the gun. And then we have cut off 3 bet. Now we're going to see a cold 4 bet from Alex with the ace king suited. And we've seen him 4 bet before.
Off! He wants him gone.
What did he say?
He said, off! Off! Get him out of here. Because he knows Alex is about to raise. So Rob's like, get him out of here.
It's a great hand to play multi-way, but it's too expensive. Now, different story for Rob. He's got a pair, so he's got a...
He also has the stack to set, mind.
4 bet is...
Flat call. He's moved all in. Called! Insta-call!
Wow.
We're off to the races, folks. 2 flops, 2 turns, 2 rivers. 5s still lead with ace king behind. 6 hits the turn. There will not be a second run. Ace on the river, Barry Greenstein.
Big pot.
And now Rob is going. Yeah, we'll run twice.
No, Rob never runs it twice.
No, it's not his style. He's just shaking his head, but he just knows. Look, that's how it's played out. Simon has rejoined us.
Oh yeah.
Ace of Barry Greenstein. Ace
Just
on
seen
the
the
river.
biggest pot of the night so far, 38k.
I'm
I'm
getting-
surprised the masseuses don't know Rob.
I'm getting back into
Yeah.
this, but they were like, he's very generous, but
Oh,
also he's
huge dipper,
crushing.
yeah.
He's absolutely crushing.
And Newey's raised to 300. Rob's called with ace jack. And Leah's 3 bet to 1k with 9-7 suited.
Okay, this is a little bit...
Newey's called. And Rob's called. 3.3k in the middle. It's going to hit someone this flop. And
Wow.
what a flop that is for Rob.
Bang.
Leah has bet out with his 9-7. Small bet, 1.1k.
I mean, Keith is just... He's drawn dead, Simon.
Yeah.
He's no, but you could pick any 2 cards in the deck. It's still not any good. Is Paul Newey still in this hand?
Yeah. No, now he's out, but he was still in. Did you read the article in Super System 2 about flopping the absolute nuts, flopping in the full house?
No.
Yeah, neither did I. I'm still looking to find that article. Flop the absolute stone cold nuts.
Now-
How many times have we seen this, by the way?
He's going to go again. He's put the whole lot in. That's, how much is there? About 13, 14 grand there?
You're getting called, and you're getting called instantly, son.
No, that's wrong. Do you see the way it says 675?
Yeah,
There's
a
a
lot more than that.
10k add-on not
Yeah.
accounted for, which, and Rob just doesn't slow roll up. He just puts the money over the line and says, hard luck keep.
Well, in fairness, if he slow roll, he's not that kind of guy. But if you slow roll there, you're just a bastard.
So there's basically 20k more in the pot than described.
Yeah.
That's a 35k pot.
Also, I think he is.
And you don't, like, you obviously never know. No one ever knows how many players are going to turn up in a tournament. But say with a structure like this, right, but say with the turbo, which is like a 20-minute clock, right? After level 1, say at the end of level 1, would you have a formula to predict how many players?
For normal ones, yeah. Normally, we'd expect to get somewhere around about 4 times.
At the end of level 1. Okay, with big hand here, kings for Rob, but he's run into Paul Newey, who's connected with the ace on the board. Rob bets 1,000. What's Paul thinking here? He's just going to call Simon, right?
He's raised this time.
Yeah, I'm surprised because he's in position, but I guess it's a feeler raise. He wants to see where he's at.
Yeah.
Rob's going to be calling this street at least and then maybe reassess the situation on the turn. Rob's going into check mode now. It's quite likely he's up against an ace. He raised the flop and got called, so he may check this turn back. Just control the size of the pot. He does check back at the queen on the river. Rob wants to get the showdown now. Rob checks, and I'm surprised Paul didn't go for value there in the river. He checks back river.
So
Aces distributed once again. This time it's Paul Newey with the bullets, and he makes it 300. Rob calls with the 8-6 on the button. Has position. Greek fish with pretty low value. Jack 2 suited, but he is getting the price. Pot now 1.2 and a flush draw for Greek fish. Rob has completely missed. He's finished with this hand, but Greek fish will be continuing. Newey, that ace of diamonds in his hand might be important come the turn. Rob just dumps the 8-6, but Greek fish, he's check calling here the 800 it looks like. And now we have 2.8
safe card there for
in the pot, 5 on the turn. So yeah, it's an interesting bet, taking his time. Maybe he's not going to raise either. It's just a straightforward call here, and that's what happens. He puts in 1,000, and now we go to the river, and the deuce doesn't change anything.
no. So Greek fish now has to put in a decent sized bet.
But Paul is going to pick this off 3k.
Okay. Bet very quickly, didn't he?
I think another thing going through Paul's mind is the
Makes
player
the
he's
call.
up against.
Paul Newey makes the call, and he's going to win this pot.
Pretty sizable pot. Jason just about flat for the day, but Alex here on the right hand side. Alex is up a chunk. Alex double through Rob in a big flip. He's up to 38.5k. Greek fish folds and Porrick O'Neill with the jacks. Rob making it 400, and Porrick with the 3-bet with the jacks. Porrick O'Neill. Paul Newey gets out of the way, and Rob with ace-8 in the hijack makes the call. Well, top set. Well, he goes 50%, and Rob with ace-8. That ace of hearts keeping him interested. Makes the call, the 5. Reasoning with himself, but I think another bet here. It's over unless Rob just goes off on one here. I don't think so. Rob check call with that ace of hearts on the flop and then folds, and now he looks, he has it, he goes, what can I do? And we're going through all the winners of the different seasons. So Simon named them all except season 2, and I'm thinking to myself, why is he not named season 2 winner? So of course I asked who won season 2, and we have him in the boot. Simon.
Wow, magic.
Now Another aces. They've come out quite a lot. This is Greek Fish, who's been playing pretty snug. And Rob, of course, nothing really happening for Rob. All his big hands are getting cracked. And he's 3-bet here. Is it all in? I think it goes in. Rob takes a punt with the 10-7.
Yeah.
10-7 versus the aces.
18.3k, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be taking a punt against a player like Greefish because he's playing off a very kind of narrow range of hands. He's playing super snug. But Rob is just trying to generate something here, like he's trying to create action. But he's in bad shape here, especially on this board. I mean, it's horrible, isn't it? Like, he hit his 10, but the ace comes out. And now the 3, which means 0% for Rob. And he hits the 2 pair. How sick is that?
That is a joke. He hits the 2 pair.
Pretty sick. Rob taking another knock to his stack. And Greek Fish gets his stack up over 20k, 21,500.